to do that part every time. She laughs. And we're good, right? Are we live? Did we do it? All right, I think we're good. Good. No. Are we? Are we here? Is this on? It is on. Good evening and welcome back to the Cars and Comedy Show. My name is Jay Ryan. I'm going to take this opportunity to ask you to please like and subscribe below. I hate doing that part, but it's important. So I'm not going to talk too much at the top of the show this evening because we have got a full boat for you. From the Purist group, we've got Sean Lee. From the Heritage Gruppe, we have got G. Is that yes, we're going to go by G tonight?
Yeah, that's the G.
All right. And then joining us a little bit later from Get Behind the Wheel, Steve Ellis is going to be here as well, talking about his new endeavor and what he's working on. I'll let him spread the news. All that, we've got this lady over here with you, with us, and that's the most exciting part. Nicole is here. She's wearing a Telefunken shirt. And, oh, did you put your shoes on last minute? No, you didn't. Yeah, no shoes. That's perfect. Perfect. No shoes. I told her she didn't have to wear shoes. And that's what's going on. And there's a nice shot of the sky there. Fantastic. There they are. There's Sean and G. Okay. Will, you know what to do. Oh, and then also the Instagram audience too. So we'll be taking your questions as you have them. Our producer Mike up in Canada is here as well, and he will be doing the wrangling. Oh, your set's looking great, buddy. You're doing a great job. We'll talk about that as well as the Letterman podcast and everything up. Will, take it away. Kevin, you gonna buy a Beamer? Everybody say hello to Nicole. That's the good news. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Late Night Playset. As I turn all of these red lights on in our studio for our cameras, now we will all know where to look, and the show will be better for you, I guarantee it. How much better? This much better! It's Tuesday, November 29th, 2022. Our guests are Sean Lee from the Purist group. We've got G over here from the Heritage Group. And then joining us in just a little bit will be Steve Ellis from Get Behind the Wheel. He's also an actor. He's a YouTube car guy. He's also involved in, what? Go ahead, say it.
You know he can do voiceover for Optimus Prime, right?
He can do many, many voices. I'm going to have him do some. His CeeLo Green is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'll see you around town and It's way better than that, FYI. But anyway, so it's a full boat. We've got our friend Mike up there in Canada. He's already taking notes, but take a look at his set over there. He has been working hard. As a reminder to everyone else, Mike is also the host of the Letterman podcast, and he is building out his set as such. Has a lot of great guests, and we'll be talking about that in just a little bit. How you doing tonight, though, brother?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited for everything going on in the playset.
Is all well in your world up there?
All is very well in my world.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that. I know you're killing it behind the scenes. I know that there's stuff, I guess other people will find out about it in time, but I know you're killing it, so keep it up.
You too, man. You too.
And the Instagram folks are joining. It's me, Steve is here. Babes in classes. Bubbles! I love you too, producer M. Good stuff. Hello from magical Newark, New Jersey. Holy crap. Did you know that that's where Ariel is?
I saw her Instagram.
Oh, I missed it. That's awesome. She was asking for a cars and coffee in the tri-state area. I knew about that, and I didn't know of one this weekend. Caffeine and carburetors already happened. That's the one I know about. All right. Let's just get right into it. You guys are here. We're happy to see you. Welcome back.
Always love to be back.
You welcome back. You welcome for the first time.
Thank you for having us.
But we've met up at Breakfast Club,
Yes.
and I feel like maybe somewhere else.
Maybe. It's possible. One of the shows.
Awesome. Tell us what you're here for. Tell us what you're all about, and anything else you want to talk about. The floor is yours. We're hanging out tonight.
Sounds good. You want to go first?
Sure. So my name is G. I'm the owner of Heritage Group. I'm here with Sean today to talk a little bit about the mission we have going on at the end of the year. As you guys all know, Winter Drive happens every year. Sean does the Winter Drive, and we try to collect as many toys as possible. So this year we're teaming up to do an additional show right after the Winter Drive, which is called Concours for Kids. This is December 18th at the Landmark in Mission Hills from 1 to 5 p.m. And we basically have a grass lawn lined with supercars, and this is an additional toy drive to help collect as many toys as we can.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And where did you say it was? Mission Hills?
Mission Hills at the Landmark. It's a banquet hall.
Okay. It's a venue.
A
Got it.
venue, yeah. Outdoor, beautiful section.
I was like, at the Landmark, but what's the Landmark?
Yes.
How'd you come up with the concept of doing it for kids? Because we're all trying to figure out ways to ingratiate the next generation into cars, because, we don't want to see them go away. How did that come about for you?
For us, it was definitely inspired by Sean, seeing the backpack drives, back-to-school drives, the mission that he's on with Purist Group to help out as many people as possible really drove us to join in and try to push that even further. So he was the main inspiration for this.
Now you made me blush.
You inspire a lot of people, buddy.
Yeah, definitely do.
Oh, man, I don't even know what to say.
Well, you're already one of my favorite people. You know that. I've got a big-time bromance with you, but I don't think I'm the only one. So, I mean, maybe you are the nucleus that binds all this, so we should maybe shift it to you then. How did this all start for you? You want to remind people how and why Purist Group started, maybe? Start there.
Wow, that's 10 years ago. So Purist Group started, of course, just focus. I mean, it started, we have a common interest. It's about cars, motorcycles, and stuff like that, right? So you always want to, later on, because we started with 20, 30 people in there, and we were having fun, talk about cars and stuff like that. And later on, you thought about using the synergy to able to help other people and able to, people that needs to be helped. And that was 10 years ago. 20, 30 people. We host our very first toy drive, 2011. That's without Purist Group's name. That was actually, that toy drive was hosted. You guys can still go to Google and find out 2011 Seibon, S-E-I-B-O-N, toy drive. And that's first toy drive we hosted to help out Paul, who started his organization called Reach Out Worldwide, get her some toys. Yeah, Paul Walker, yeah, get her some toys. Just shoot some picture floating around on the internet somewhere. From there, unfortunately, the accident happened, and on my toy drive, and from there on, and every year we gotta have a toy drive, not to just help out the kids and be a Santa, but also is a tribute to my best friend Paul, and so continue the heritage from years and years. And this is our 10th year. It's pretty amazing that.
But it's a bit of a memorial too at the same time. It's like a memorial car show at the same time.
We're good friends, I mean, he has a good heart. He started his organization, and just to help other people. And we all know his story now with Richard Worldwide.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing my part as a friend, and also my background was extremely harsh. And I was abused as a kid, and I always want to be there to help out other kids, for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
And now people always ask, so they run car show, they run car groups. Would I feel butthurt if they host a toy drive? Is there competition going on? I told people there's no competition. The more people that goes out there do toy drives, more kids gonna have a better Christmas. And I'd be more than happy to put Purest name on there. Because Purest, first of all, we don't sell stuff, right? We're not hosting car events. We're not doing activations. We're not a marketing company.
Right.
And so if Purest logo can be on somebody else's flyer, help them attract more traffic to their show and make it happen for them, I'd be more than glad to do that. And that's what Purest it's all about in terms of the meaning behind it, right? I wish in the future, like this year's kind of cool. December 18th, he's doing his events. And December 18th, one of the Purest owns celebrity car in Las Vegas. He's actually hosting a toy drive over there, and
At the same time, in a different location.
Yeah, and also next Friday, Omega in South Coast Plaza is hosting a Purest smaller toy drive. They send out invite to their private clientele. Everybody will show up. Omega will provide a little, alcohol and dessert so people can hang out, talk about watches.
Oh, they'll sponsor the party a little bit so that it becomes
And and
so
of
everybody
course,
wins because they'd be doing this stuff anyway. Everybody would be socializing and doing stuff anyway. So why not do it for a good cause? Is the idea.
And GVBC is hosting another toy drive for us too, and this is so awesome. I wish in the future during the whole month of December we can, maybe hopefully 200, 300 car clubs around the world, East Coast, West Coast, all hosting toy drive together.
I love it.
Right?
Yeah, you're kind of already doing it, but why not tie them all together?
Yeah, and that's a real essence and meaning behind Purist Group. People always ask, is that a car group? Do I need a fancy car to get in? Do I need to? No, I don't.
That's definitely not true.
It's not true. That's
Yeah.
why I drive a pickup truck. I drive a police cruiser.
I have, as many times as you have been up to GVBC or wherever, I have almost never seen you drive the Porsche or any of the race cars or any of the collector cars. It's almost always like a regular car or, your Type R, which is pretty expensive, but it's still your Honda. You drive your Honda.
Yeah.
I love that about you. Or like you said, you bring the police cruiser van,
Yeah.
the black and white van. Awesome.
and it's kind of cool, from a little car, I'll call it car group till where we were 10 years ago. We started from Facebook, just a bunch of guys, and now we're having Nissan USA sending us trucks and fully loaded with toys, and we have Michelin, we have BFG, we have Toyo, we have. It's fun.
It was a nice opportunity to bring up these new duffel bags that you brought us from Nissan.
From Nissan.
Because they're a partner of the event.
Yeah, forever now. The people behind Nissan, they're no longer just a brand to us. It's the people behind it. This really gets me emotional because everybody in there they don't treat us as. To be honest, compared to Nissan, Purist Group is that tiny little group, but they're willing to put out their influence as a brand and as a corporation to stand behind us. The guy who actually he's out there, and so when Cody was hired to do the launch of the Z, they wrote a script and purposely had Cody talk about Purist for a little bit during the global launch of the Z.
Yeah.
And this is crazy. And
That's why I don't know how. They are wonderful and they are generous, and I think they're very smart to partner with you. But I think that's perhaps it. They're smart to partner with you. I think that this is a mutually beneficial thing because you are somebody. It behooves people to stand next to you. It's good for them. It's
but the way I look at it is we couldn't offer them like any influencers, right? Like they have millions of followers and they can do one click or one shout out. For us, I really don't justify the ROI for them. In terms of,
I see your point.
You see my point?
Yeah, but that's the world we live in as well.
So that's why most
you have to be moving the needle, which is what you're doing.
Yeah, but that's why most of brand they want to ask for ROI, and for us really not able to give any ROI. Like they could hire whatever influencer out there has a YouTube channel and millions of followers, have them, and they'll get an ROI back. And for them, they continue to support us year after year. While they never asked me to post. Never. It was me who's posting it. They never ask me, you gotta, okay, we give you this, post about your truck. No, they never, not once. There's no contract say I have to post about my truck. I have to do, no, zero. It was just me feel so, not guilty. I just feel privileged to be able to be with them, to talk about them.
Yeah.
Sincerely.
I
talk
think
about
it's sincere gratitude going on from
Yeah.
you. You're always that way with everything, though.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
And then, I'm not trying to be a Nissan salesman, man. I mean, product is one thing. People like their stuff, people don't like this, it's fine. But I really have to appreciate the people that's behind it.
Yeah.
I'm so proud now every time I go out there, again, they didn't pay me to come up and say all this stuff. And they just say, every time I go, yeah, we're sponsored by Nissan USA. And because the people behind it, they believe in us. It was pretty awesome. And plus, of course, you guys, some friends like you guys, like him, he runs a car club. He runs a activation for, and he's been working with us. He created a T-shirt last year, and it's a Purist T-shirt, a special edition T-shirt, and he sold it. And I told him, don't give me the money. So keep the money with him. Then he can. And when I need more toys or when I need more backpacks, just go buy those stuff and send it over.
Right.
That's what we've been doing.
Yeah, and we live in the same kind of world. I love what you do. I really do. I love what you do. Whether you intended to or not, I think you've kind of created a model for a lot of people to follow. And I think that's maybe why there's some comparisons with toy drives and other things made. I think people want to do more of the type of thing that you do. And I guess everyone has their different motivations. Yours are very, very pure. And so I think maybe that comes through.
Yeah, we don't even want people to donate money. Just make sure to give us the toys and supplies we needed.
Yeah.
And I
That is unusual.
For
Sure, we've got a charity, but don't give us your money.
Yeah, but it's like I go out and buy cars and buy wheels and tires, and I rarely want to touch other people's money. And go like, oh, you know what? I just give it Sean $1,000. And that's why, we keep it simple, keep it pure. And but if I would have asked you for diaper, unless I'm using it,
Right.
Well,
we've got them.
So I mean, right now we have big corporate company like Nissan, like Michelin, and they do actually offer a lot of financial help. So that makes Purist itself even less of necessity to get her funding from anybody else now.
That's the way to do it, though.
That's the way to do it.
Sesame Street. I mean,
Yeah.
While PBS was funded by viewers like you, Sesame Street had grants that were given out either by the government sometimes, but generally by privately funded. The Helena Rubinstein Foundation, the Will Rogers Institute, stuff like that.
Yep.
And for some reason, what comes out of that is much less commercial and much more pure. And I think that's why your name is so perfect.
Yeah, and we were never 501c3 until last year. Even when we become 501c3, I never advertised for that.
Mm.
Yeah, because I don't want people to donate money.
I see.
It's not even wealthy. We're fine, and when it comes to involve other people's money, there's so much drama coming after that.
Well, with money comes drama.
Yeah. So we do take corporate sponsorships on major events, and that's about it. And we take 1 or 2 sponsors done, and we'll call it a day. So, yeah, and we're fine. We didn't turn 501c3 till last year. The reason why for the past 9 years I didn't want to do it because I don't want people to think, Sean Lee started 501c3 for his own tax shelter, or Sean Lee started 501c3 trying to fundraise for somebody.
Well,
now I do it because I'm afraid that, I had a little health problem last year. I don't want to one day
yeah, there's a lot of reasons, and you're right about that. And also, we sort of had a similar feeling about the 501c3 until we did one, and now it's kind of like it makes so much more sense to some people. Maybe it doesn't make sense to you and what you're doing because of the means, etc. But I don't know. I think if you ever do want to lean on that, you would have tremendous, tremendous support.
Yeah, we're blessed. I mean, a China company was very, very huge. I think they call it a China company, but
yeah.
So they actually did our first. They actually did a first amp. I mean, they're pretty big. They're like the AT&T in China. So they did a first NFT launch for us with no cost out of our hand. It was pretty amazing because...
The what launch? The first what launch?
First NFT.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Purist has its own NFT now. We're minting in November 20th, which is next week. Yeah. Don't worry, you guys are taken care of.
I don't know how it works. What does that mean, we're taken care of?
You guys are on the whitelist, so we just drop one to you. So what it does is they're minting
Is
8,000.
it like Bitcoin? I still don't understand.
Yeah, they're minting about 8,000 of them, right? So imagine it's 8,000 different image, like the poster you buy from Magnus Walker. And,
Okay.
But imagine it's digital. But what it does is it stays in your hand until you decide to trade it or sell it. Once you decide to trade it or sell it, and it continually trade and sell, you will continue to get a percentage of the money that comes back to you as the original owner.
You're kidding.
No, it's pretty crazy.
So it's
Because
the
you own that-
equivalent of trading physical art, but somehow everyone keeps a piece of it.
Yeah, because
Like, percentage-wise.
because 8,000 pictures is 8,000 completely different pictures. So what happened is you own that picture outright. You own that. You can use it to make prints yourself. You can make it to, you know. So that's what costs some. That's why sometimes it costs certain NFT to be. They all look the same, but because this one maybe Justin Bieber has it, it's worth $300,000. You have the exactly same looking, just different color. Yours is only worth $30. That's how it works.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't understand this.
Yeah, so imagine a painting. You have all this painting right now that's in front of you, and one's being signed by the painter himself and Magnus Walker.
Yep.
And it's about his car.
Yep.
Or something like that, and that's gonna worth so much more in terms of money wise.
Yes.
Than other people's. And on top of that, if it's numbers number 1 or number 2 or the first 10 numbers, people wants that even more. I'm learning about it too. I'm not expert at it, but
No, but you explained it better than anybody has yet.
yeah. So imagine you have a poster that's signed by the guy that's in the poster and signed by who did that poster.
So anybody could have, like, you know, a picture of whatever your picture is, but because you have the real one,
Yeah,
that one's,
it's worth.
just the original. It's almost like the source digital art, like of whatever
Yes.
the MPEG or whatever, the JPEG or whatever, however that works.
Yes,
Wow. It's like, it's just owning a copyright to that piece.
to that piece.
Oh, okay. So in time, this will put Getty Images out of business and stuff like that. Maybe.
Pretty much on the long run, yes, you will.
Wow. Well, that actually makes a lot of sense, because then it's basically content rights management.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the crazy
Yeah,
thing
now
about
I
imagine this is a space right now, right? This is a physical space. Imagine on a digital world in the future, you own a digital space. It looks exactly the same as this.
Yes.
Okay.
In the metaverse.
In the metaverse, right?
Yeah.
But now you get to put a painting on the wall.
Yes.
That's right, and you know.
That's
and
wild.
So your friend coming to your digital.
But you got to put your headset on in the real world to go experience
Yeah.
Yeah.
your virtual world, which is probably much nicer than your real world, right?
What's that movie? Total Recall. There's a
There's
movie
a lot
about
of movies
that.
like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
But yeah, sure.
Or Surrogate. Remember this movie called Surrogate? So what happens? A guy stays in his couch, never leave his room, and so on the outside, it's actually a robot, a clone of themselves, functioning in the real world.
Okay.
So they actually stay in that chair with the gargoyle.
But he's in a digital outside world, but the
Yes.
machine is in the real outside world.
Yes.
Oh, good lord! What's this called?
It's called Surrogate, I think.
Surrogate.
Who's the actor is pretty famous too.
Oh, Surrogate.
Surrogate, yeah, Surrogate. That movie. Yeah.
Sorry, lost in translation. Surrogate. I have always wanted to see that movie, and I don't think we've ever watched it.
It's
Got it.
actually not bad. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Who's in it?
I forgot.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah.
Surrogate.
Sorry.
Gee, tell us why you started Heritage Group. Obviously, you got a little bit of influence from this guy over here, but
Yeah, actually, that came along the way.
Oh.
So I'm a product designer, and after getting out of school, I've always been into cars ever since I was little, building them, racing them, and
are you from LA?
I was born in Iran. I'm Armenian.
Oh.
Born in Iran. We moved to Pasadena like 2001.
I'm not a soccer guy, but today was not a good day for Iran. Is that correct? Was it U.S. over?
I
All right, sorry about that. Hey,
I saw that headline.
sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, and I've always been into cars. One day I started an Instagram page just to post pictures of cool cars that I like, mostly vintage, Group B, Group C, all the special group cars. And one thing led to another, and a Heritage Group was formed, the group of them all basically, just to showcase my love for these cars. And one thing led to another, started doing some graphic design, selling T-shirts, and we hosted car shows, more of cruise-ins, just drive-ins. We started at the Eagle Rock Plaza. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
No, but I like that area over there. There's a lot of cool spots.
Yeah, and a big empty parking lot, and eventually moved to Tire Masters in Sun Valley. He was nice enough to let us use his shop. Once a month, we would host shows there.
What was it called? I think I got used to get invited to that.
Drivers meetings.
Drivers meetings at Tire Masters in Burbank.
Yes.
I think I
Yeah.
used to get invited to that. But
Yeah,
I didn't know
most
what the heck
likely.
it was, and it was. I think it was conflicting with something else. It was a morning thing.
Yeah, morning show. It was just a cruise-in.
Okay.
So after that, earlier this year actually, we actually collaborated with Drew from Cult Collective
Awesome.
and Zeke from Auto Conduct. We hosted Cars After Dark. That was our first big scale ticketed car show that we did.
Cars After Dark sounds fun.
Yeah, it was the end of April. Yeah, nighttime.
A lot of nudity. Cinemax After Dark.
Yeah. So from there, we were like, hey, you know what? We have the skills and the knowledge to create extravagant shows. So why don't we put more effort into, instead of doing monthly shows where we can't put too much time into them, why don't we take some time off and create larger scale shows, you know?
I get you.
So the next show that came from that was Concours for Kids, which is end of the year this year.
So this is the first one off the new shift.
Yes, it's
Okay.
the first one off the new shift, and we're really excited for it. We're general admission tickets and everything is on Eventbrite if you guys want to check it out. It's a more family vibe, so kids 13 and under, we're getting in free. Hot Wheels Racetrack will be there setting up their stuff. Baskin Robbins selling ice cream. Drinks for the grown-ups, of course. And
Really?
Yeah.
Fun for the whole family, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So yeah, and we're here now.
That's really cool. So it happened very organically. You didn't say, hey, I'm going to start a car club and we're going to do
No,
events and
yeah,
everything. Well, that's
yeah.
the best way when it doesn't, it just kind of.
Exactly. You don't know how many things we experimented along the way. I mean, even NFTs, we made 2 trading card NFTs and sold both of them. And I was like, you know what, let's move away to this and this and this. And
Pivot.
yeah, and my team was going crazy at me just because we're
What are we
pivoting all the,
doing?
yeah, exactly. So,
Do you have a whole team behind
we're
you?
actually 4 partners all together.
Wow.
Creative director Aline, our COO Sarkis, and our CFO Leo,
What are you?
CEO.
Of course. It's the one left. Of
Yeah,
course.
so I mean, so far we're on a great path. Fingers crossed. We actually came up with a new service, white glove service, to help car collectors buy and sell their cars. So we literally remove all the hassle out of selling your car. We list it for auction sites and
You're kidding.
manage all the auctions and everything.
So hypothetically, say somebody wants to sell their car. Say we want to sell
No.
a yellow car, whatever, and we say, hey, I don't want to deal with any of this bullshit, but you have a service, so I'm going to hire you. I give you the car, you take the pictures, you do the listings. You
All
do
of it. So we take the car, do a shakedown of it, do a review, video reviews, photo studio shots, nice photos, and
This
get
is
us
a premium service.
premium service. We try to get as detailed. The mission with this was, I've bought so many cars in the past, most of them out of state, and I really rely on the guy being honest over the phone of, hey, is everything what you described, is it that, or am I going to fly over there and find out there's something else, you know? So
Is it ever not the second one?
you would be surprised. Yes.
Really?
Twice I've had very good luck with that.
I always ask the same question you just did. Like, just tell me about the car. You know,
Yeah.
just tell me what the issues are. I don't care. I don't care.
Exactly. I just don't want it to break down. I'm going to come there and buy it regardless.
That's what I say. And then somehow there's always something else. Oh, geez, I honestly didn't know about that. You know.
Yep.
All right,
So
okay.
yeah, we do all of that and then list it on whichever auction platform that fits the car.
So you choose.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
depending on what
smart.
the car is. I mean, bring a trailer, P-car market. There's a bunch of options, you know. So
Yes, but sometimes people don't want to. It's almost like you have your expertise can help them get placed in the best place for
Exactly.
them. And as a consumer, we don't really know that stuff ourselves, I'm guessing.
yeah,
I would know.
exactly. So we essentially try to get you the most value for your car and describe it so detailed that someone across the country doesn't have a problem buying it. Like we just sold the 85 Mercedes 500 SL Euro model.
Cool.
And it's being shipped to Netherlands.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Oh, fun.
you know what I mean? And it's all transparent, you know, so
Yeah, that's the nice thing these days.
yeah,
Takes all the bullshit, the old car business bullshit out of it.
exactly.
Except for that one part of like, what's up with your car?
yeah.
The car's still the wild card. But you guys take that out of the equation so that when it's listed, the people on the receiving end are getting a solid vehicle.
Exactly. They know what they're getting, and there's no surprises.
Wow. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but how much does something like that cost? Depend on the car, maybe?
No,
Or
we
is it a
actually have a
percentage?
flat rate fee. Can't talk today. So
I didn't set it up well.
up front, we charge $2,000 to do the whole photography, all the content creation and everything.
Does that include the detail and the shakedown? And all that
Detailing,
stuff?
shakedown,
That's
everything. Photo studio. I mean, we recently we're getting it into the Peterson Automotive Museum to do studio shoots. So
Awesome.
you're getting
So your car's been in the elevator even. That's so cool.
exactly, and then 2,000 for that, and then for creating the copy, managing the auction, answering all those pesky questions and all of that on these auction platforms. Once we sell the car, we charge a 3% back-end fee with a maximum of 3,500.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter if it's a $125K car or $120 million car. All we're making is 3,500. You know, we're not trying to scam people. We're
No,
just
that's
trying
nice.
to get, you know.
It's nice. I thought the $2,000 flat rate was too cheap for all of the work you were doing. So the
Yes.
percentage, the backup percentage makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody ever having a problem with that, with you capping it. Like, who would ever? I think you'll be fine there forever.
Yeah,
Except I think
yeah.
that your prices will go up at some point.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
$2,000 is a deal for all that pre-stuff.
Yeah,
It
for front end, we're not making any profit or anything, you know.
I can't imagine so.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay the people to do all the work.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I'm very happy for you. That's very, very cool. This
Thank you.
concierge service seems to be something that people are getting into now.
Yeah.
Is it that the collectors are getting to the point where they just don't want to deal with it themselves?
Yeah. You don't. I mean, you have multiple cars you're taking care of. You probably have multiple businesses that you're taking care of. And the last thing you want to do is take the time to get a camera, learn how to do photography, take the nice shots, do all these videos, do the reviews, and you know it's. So as soon as people hear about it, they're like, "Oh, so I don't have to worry about it. Give me your business card," you know. So
Any one of those different things is a different skill trait
exactly.
that you'd have to learn before
Exactly.
you just write the check.
Yeah, and even valuations, we try to let people know what to expect beforehand, and we try to be good on that point.
Where does that expertise come from? Just being a car guy for so long?
That and we've actually, me and my other partner, we've worked on the insurance and claim adjustment and all of that side too.
Oh.
So we've done valuation reports when insurance companies say, "Hey, this is how much your car is worth." We find comparables and give them the actual value. You know, so
Outstanding.
yeah.
Done your homework.
Thank you.
They also build a lot of cool cars out in the backyard.
You're
Yeah.
building cars too?
Yeah, that too.
They're
I feel like we met on the porch. Was it a cold day or was it snowy? For whatever reason, we were on the porch that day. I remember that. Over at
Yes, it
Newcomb's.
was snowing. Yes.
Okay. And I remember that day and thinking you were really cool and sounded like you were into some cool shit that I'd be into too, but I didn't know how deep it went.
Yeah.
What are you building? What kind of car?
1969 BMW 1602. Yeah, we're building the whole pig cheek, wide body, weekend warrior track car.
Awesome. Our friend Dorian just did one of those. It was just on Jay's
Yeah,
garage, but he brought it up there.
I actually went with them to Willow Springs and drove it around for the first time.
What
on
did
the
you
track.
think of that car?
I mean, the way he built the suspension and everything on that car, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You just literally just keep the gas pedal all the way to the floor and just like a go-kart, you know?
That's what he said. And I said, that sounds perfect to me because I love a momentum car. I
Yeah.
love it. Just pedal down and steer through. But he goes, yeah, the next one's going to be a little bit more power. And I was like, what's a little bit more power? And he's like, oh, I don't know, like 4 times the amount. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, he's got some crazy builds going on right now. It's exciting to see them.
So how will your 2002 or your 1600 2002 be in compared to Dorian's? I mean, in what direction will it be different? And
I love the way he did the whole. So you've obviously seen the car in person and up close and all of that.
yeah, he brought
If
it up
you-
last weekend, and it was last week. It was amazing. I hadn't seen it
Yeah, I
in
mean
person.
all the little detail work that's done to it, you know, that you wouldn't really think about, like the way the front splitter is mounted on, or if you get on the interior, the rear, there's a little cargo latch. You open it up, and it's like the CD player there, and you know all the little
details.
the detail orientation and the fact. Oh, sorry, my alarm keeps going off.
Oh, if it's a phone call, get it. We
No,
encourage that.
you're good. The but as far as the drivetrain build, we're gonna take a lot of inspiration from him. I'm learning a lot from him as far as certain cams to use or how to build the engine and all of that. So drivetrain wise, it will be very similar. The exterior is what's going to be mainly different about ours with the wide body kit, and we're trying to create. Go a little further into the resto mod side and create our own like dashboard for it and 3D model stuff and see what we can make. So we'll see what happens.
So a lot more new in yours than his, because he kept it pretty, I don't know if period correct is the way to say it, but he kept it with a vintage feel and flair.
Yeah, more like a Singer style essence.
I didn't want to say that, but that's what, when you said the details, that's what I was thinking, like all those little Singer type details.
Exactly, yeah. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. It's still bare shell in my backyard, so.
What color will it be? Let's get to the important stuff.
It's going to be Nevada, the original color. It's like a beige, greenish, sandish color, basically.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like almost olive drabby, khaki, like Banana Republic.
Exactly.
That.
Yeah.
With the chrome still, or are you going to lose the chrome? Like all the bright work?
Haven't decided on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Depends
we're
on
trying
how
to
wide that body gets.
Yeah. Trying to do more of a art car style theme to it. Both me and our creative director is actually my girlfriend Aline. We both went to art center for design, so we want to incorporate that artsiness into the car. Maybe even some Andy Warhol inspiration. Get some paintbrushes and just paint some art on the car or whatever it is. And
there's the Heritage with the BMW art cars, of course. Wow. Oh, dude, I love what you're into. It's so cool.
Thank you.
Good call bringing him.
It's pretty cool.
I don't know. Is there anything we've never talked about on the show? I know we talked, off the air, but like, is there anything that we've never? Is there any direction we've never?
We're gonna talk about a toy drive this year.
We didn't yet. Well, Jesus Christ, what are we waiting for?
Oh well, December 10th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come out to the toy drive.
The big Purist winter drive.
Yes, once a year thing, and the surprising part about it is we posted a flyer 2 weeks out, and now we're completely fully booked.
Why are you surprised by that?
I usually takes probably about 6 weeks. And this is 2 weeks, and we didn't even push it. It's a blessing. It's fun, but now we have so many people that I want them to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to recreate space. So we're gonna go back to the expo center tomorrow to take a look at the space and see whether or not we can do something. I want more people to come, and I want everybody who supported us throughout the years gets their exposure they need. Doesn't matter if they're brand or the car that they built. And this is one of the show I think is pretty cool. I'm gonna speak not from Sean Lee's perspective. It's a cool show because this is the only time you get to see crazy exotic like Bugattis, McLaren, Ferraris, and later on you go down to the next aisle is a bunch of Honda Civic, EK, EG, but they're all unique built. They're not just they're pretty much best of the best in their sectors.
Right.
You have Grupo Miata. There's like different variations from perfectly bone stock Miata to a fully modified 500 horsepower Miatas.
Monster Miata.
Yeah, then you have McLaren, you have Porsche, you have BMW, Ferraris, and this year you have a bunch of off-road guys that's coming in. And for me, it's a show I enjoy.
Off-road guys? You piqued my interest just a minute. I heard off-road guys.
Yeah, I started doing. I have a Jeep that's built with supercharged.
Oh.
Yeah, and I also have a Hummer H1.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, then I also
do you drive that?
I drive it.
I have a friend who's got one. It's just parked in his warehouse. That thing. Really?
Yeah, mine's all beat up. I used to tow my race car trailer to Willow Spring with that thing.
What?
Because they were.
How's that gas mileage? You're driving a Hummer with a race car trailer?
So it's a 6.5 liter turbo diesel. So once you remove. There's a smart device that I alter.
It's a government vehicle, right?
It's a government. No, mine's not. Mine's a civilian vehicle. It's a Hummer, not a Humvee. Yeah, so
Damon's got the Humvee, the freaking full army.
Yeah,
mode.
that's
okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's
so yours is a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, it's got a GM motor in there, so it's the same motor they have in all the pickup trucks, heavy duty pickups. So it's pretty powerful for. So once you remove the
restrictions
and the boost goes really up, and I'm getting about 12 miles a gallon with big wheels.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's no worse. That's better than a Suburban, probably.
About the same. About the same.
Way more fun.
Yeah, way more fun. So I used to drive that back in the day when you know the issue about Hummer being gross pollutants, people are burning down Hummer stores.
Oh, I do
That's when
remember
I
that,
bought
yeah.
my.
Oh, that's when you bought it. Oh, you probably got a great deal.
So I bought my new back in the day. Yeah, crazy good deal. It was like 30 grand off.
Wow.
It's cheaper than buying this.
They're
than buying,
like, nobody wants these.
nobody wants this. And it's cheaper to get a Hummer H1 than buying a 2500 HD with a Duramax diesel in there.
Really?
I pay no more than 60 grand for my truck.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The H2s were going for 60 grand.
Yeah. And H2 for a while lost their value. I had the H2 also, so we're charged.
You're hilarious.
I
They're
think
both supercharged?
No, the H1 is actually factory is turbocharged.
Oh, okay.
But the H2 comes with a Cadillac 6-point motor, and I supercharged that one. That's
Oh,
a
my.
gross pollutant. I'm getting 4 miles a gallon.
That's a gross pollute.
That's a gross pollutant. H1 is fine. H1 runs good, just slow. I mean, I use that as a tow vehicle, tow everything everywhere.
Yeah.
Love that thing.
What do they say when you pull up in the racetrack with the H1? I mean, that has got to be a hell of a scene.
Yeah,
Man.
most people use truck. I use,
Yeah.
it's fun.
But do people just like, look at this guy? You know, I mean, do they think it's awesome or do they think you're nuts?
Everything is awesome.
Okay.
Back in the day, yeah.
I think it's awesome.
I still have a picture of it. Pretty cool.
And I think you're nuts. What car were you towing behind it?
A86 Toyota Corolla.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's a fully enclosed trailer too.
Oh, okay, that's different. Then in my mind, I was picturing the race car on the the tire rack and the whole thing in the back.
Oh no, it's a full. I had a full enclosed trailers.
Okay,
Yeah, 26 footers.
that is a different. I want to see someone with an H1 pulling their boat. Have you ever seen that? That'd be great.
That's cool. That's true. Huh? Nobody used them.
I've never
like that.
seen that.
So might as well beat up. Like I used to go off roading, and every time I go, people just want me to be there to save their ass. I was like,
What color is yours?
red.
So it's a beat up red.
It's beat up red. I was gonna repaint it. I don't know. I'm not gonna retain it.
It probably looks good beat up, right?
It looks really good beat up.
Put some like fire marshal decals on it or something. Make it like a forestry truck, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So that truck I drive to before Nissan gave me a truck to use. I drive that thing every year during Christmas time to deliver to the. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, every year.
Speaking of which, I saw that you got a pickup truck this year.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with the weather on Friday? What if it rains? We can use the porch for the area there, but what about getting them down? Should we bring a tarp? Didn't you have an Armada last year? It was
Right.
enclosed.
Yeah, this year is the Titan.
Yeah, I know. A big old pickup truck with a.
I'll bring an extra car just in case. I'll bring the police van.
I was going to ask you to bring the police van instead.
I'll just try the police van. It's fine. I'll take the police van.
Fully enclosed. Plus, it's cool as hell.
Yeah, that's cool as hell. And thanks, LA County Sheriff for donating that car to me.
It was LA County Sheriff. I was going to ask
Yeah.
you. Okay.
So that car belonged to a group called. So LA County Sheriff, they have an agency called Youth Activity League. Okay, they short for YAL. So when I first served, the first board I ever served on was actually the Industry Hill YAL. But now I'm serving on the whole board that oversee maybe like 18 different divisions throughout the whole California.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serving on their board for YAL now.
Mm.
So that van belonged to a industry YAL as their delivery vehicle.
Oh, so it was already kind of doing the same. It was never a prison van.
It was never
like
a
that.
prison van. It was more like a personnel and equipment delivery van for them.
I got pulled over a van that looked just like that in Long Beach one time, and I literally was joking with the cops. I can't believe I was pulled over by a van. It was in the Z Forum. Leaving Harvell's working there one night, and,
Oh my
and these guys were
God.
so nice. I wasn't like drunk or anything. I just was making a left out of an alley where I couldn't see the one-way sign because it was blocked, whatever. And we were joking about the fact that I just got pulled over by somebody in a van, and I thought to myself, maybe. No, never, nothing.
Nope. I don't think so.
It would be great.
Know that car.
Does
Him
it have
and that.
seatbelts?
Yes,
Like in the
that's
back?
everything. Yeah, it's a 2002 Astro van.
I meant in the back.
On the back, no. Oh yeah, it does.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah, it's 3-row seats.
Yeah.
That van's slow, but it's actually pretty cool. It's actually really cool. It's 70 horsepower back in the days.
What?
Yeah,
How much?
170 horsepower.
Oh, I thought you said 70. I was like, that's a VW van.
It feels like 70
Yeah.
horsepower. Oh, I'll drive that from Friday.
It's black and white too. It's
black
like
and white,
it's literally
yeah.
painted like it's a patrol car, but it's a big, van.
That's why I love car community. The moment I got my van, so Scott from Koenig Wheel, is a big company. They go, you need to put other wheels on that car. Boom, sends me a wheel for that. And and it's pretty cool.
So the car community says, "Oh, you got a new thing. We got to help you." They pimped your ride, basically. They're pimping your ride.
Like the Nissan Frontier, all this modification that we're doing to it, not one is from my idea.
Really?
Yeah, so I got a truck. I just say, oh, Nissan donated us a truck with delivery. Then everybody start taking my truck and to put stuff on there.
Hey, let me borrow your truck for the weekend, and then they.
Yeah, not because they say, oh, you have to post for us. It's because it's so cool. Like they say, because they want to build you a truck that you will like. It's crazy. So everything on there right now is never say, oh, I'm gonna write a proposal. Say, I want this lights from you. I want this wheel from you. No, it was all these crazy brands that's within the Purist community. They're building my truck for me. It's amazing. OEM Audio putting a new stereo system in there, which I'm not a stereo guy. I never knew that having a cool stereo system in your car, because all my cars are noisy.
Yeah.
Having a cool stereo system in your car really enjoys the ride so much better on long drives. And suspension, wheels. My friends at Titan 7 wheels, they actually made me a one set. I thought he's gonna make a lot of, and I go like, okay, so what if someone want to buy it? You cannot buy it. So
It's one of one.
101. I go, why do you want to do that? Who makes?
They're like, who else has a van?
Why you make one single set of wheel only?
They love you. I think you know what? I think people love you because of your constant amazement that people love you. It makes me love you more.
I am amazed that people.
It makes me. Go ahead.
I'm really amazed that people would go. That love me that much. I mean, I'm like, it's an honor, it's a blessing, but
Don't you feel like you love people that much?
I do.
Perhaps we're all just giving it back.
I do. But I don't want people to get back. It's kind of weird.
He's nodding. He knows what I'm talking about. She knows what I'm talking about.
I know, but it's feel weird.
I had that reaction too. Someone said, "Do what you did. Let people do for you what you did for other people for years." And I was like, "That was my job." I was like, "You, relax and enjoy
Enjoy the love.
the love."
Yeah, I gotta start doing that. I feel tense about it. Like I was in Vegas at a flat tire
Oh,
during
great story.
Thanksgiving.
This is 3 days ago, 4 days ago.
Yeah, during Thanksgiving, no tire shop was open, right? And I was like, okay. And finally, one tire shop was open, so we got two guys. So these two guys are actually pretty unique too. They used to volunteer for Purest Winter Drive all the time. They're the guy who dressed in stormtrooper uniforms. Last the picture I post with next to a Bugatti on my IG, right? One of them is actually the stormtrooper guys. They drive down here from Vegas every year to volunteer for the toy drive, to walk around in the stormtrooper uniforms. So the kids, to take a photo with the kids and stuff like that.
We used to do that with City of Hope and Make-A-Wish and
Yeah.
all that. I wouldn't dress up in that, but we did the Ghostbusters and whatever.
I remember that time at Comic-Con.
Comic-Con. So then
The kids love that, though. I mean,
kids love
it
that.
sounds like a silly thing, like, oh, we dress up in Star Wars when we go to the hospital. But you're changing little kids' lives. It makes a big
People's
deal.
perspective changed just seeing them.
yeah. So then these two guys just come out and help me plug the tires up. But it took us 5 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't that simple. Didn't you? You went to one place.
So
and
when the
then-
discount tires, they refused to sell me. They refused to patch my tire. My tire is perfect. It's 600 miles on the tire. It's a brand new tire from Michelin. And they go, no, you got to buy a new one. We won't patch that. I go, I'm a car guy. It was like one little nail right in the middle, not on the sidewalk. He said, no, we won't patch that. You either buy a new one or they know I'm stuck over there. I was like, I
yeah,
was
hard sell. Out of towner. We got him.
Yeah, I was so mad. But then I found out, fine, it doesn't matter. So we pump out the air, drive really fast to AutoZone, get there. Because I have a lot of stuff in my car at that time. So for carrying more luggage, I took out the spare tires.
Oh my god.
So,
That was not in your Instagram post.
so I don't have a spare tire.
You did exclusive. Oh
So-
man, exclusive.
So we had to pump out the air really quick and drive out to AutoZone. Then I had to buy a brand new set of socket set to remove my wheel off.
Because you took this jack out too.
Jack was in there, but I had upgraded wheels, so I changed all the lug nuts to
Different size.
Yeah, 19. The factory one was 16 or 17.
17, yeah. Oh, hilarious.
I had to buy a brand new socket, then took out my tire, and one guy has his truck over there. I would say, hey, let's just toss the tire onto the truck. We'll find a
place to plug it.
Yeah, plug it or patch it, whatever. He goes, no, let's do it right here, right now. So we went in, all on bought a.
He knew how to do it. I wouldn't have known how to do it.
I know how to do it, but
Oh.
the problem is when the car was at a certain angle, it's really hard for you to put force into the and drill
Right,
the
but
whole
if the
thing.
tire's off the car,
Yeah. So we finally took the tires off the car and we plugged it right there. And
I didn't know it was that simple. I thought they had to take the tire off the rim and do it from the
no.
inside.
no, you can do it
Or
right.
is that a
there.
patch? That's a patch.
That's a patch, yeah.
Plug you just do on the outside.
The right way to do it, you want to do a patch. You don't want to do a plug. Because a plug actually, all the tire has belts in there.
Yeah.
You actually separate the belts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the jail bars.
Yeah. So, but the moral of the story is it's Thanksgiving. I took 5 hours away from them, spending time with the kids, with their family, and they were there helping me. 5 hours.
Oh man, I bet it's a great story. I bet they were so excited to be able to tell their
Yep.
family that they helped you and that they hung out with you. I swear to God, man.
No, it's
They
my.
wouldn't do it if they didn't love you.
I
Just
know.
love that part. That's it.
And you inspire people to appreciate the adventure.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of the way we live life too. Where you don't know what you're going to get, and it might be lemonade, or it might be lemon, so you got to make the lemonade. And I feel like that's what you and they did.
I love those too. Love that. And also, moral of the story is keep your spare tire in your car. Don't take it out.
That was great. Who drives to Vegas? And, hey, you know what? I'm going to take my. You know what? I don't think I'll get an oil change either. What else can I not do?
Well, you figure 4 brand new tire, but you do need a luggage space, right? I do. I mean, I used up all the space in the trunk to put stuff in there, so that was a dumb move. I never. I mean, I'm gonna knock on wood. I never had flat tires for the last 10 years.
Till you don't have spares. Like, learn your lesson.
I throw away all those spares in all my cars.
What?
Yeah,
Always?
always.
You're something else, buddy.
Yeah, I never had a flat. This is like pretty much the first time in 10 years.
I guess
That's
we drive
crazy.
up. I mean, we don't have a spare tire either, so I'm not making fun of you. I mean, we don't have a place for one. They don't have them in our cars. But if they did, I would fucking have one because we've gotten many flat tires up on the crest and had to drive out on the rim.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the first.
There's so many rocks up there that weren't there 5 minutes ago, and they're there now.
Sure, but this is like the first time, as far as I can remember, I had a flat tire.
That's wonderful. But again, maybe that's your great luck. Then you were destined to meet these guys, and you stopped them from doing something else. Like
Yeah.
maybe this all, something, you avoided a crisis somewhere else.
Great
If I was
people.
on the plane, it would have crashed, that kind of thing.
Well, great people, though. I mean, I learned so much from that, just that day. Doing good for others and the comebacks and good comments.
So where does that come from for you? You lived that way all the time. Where did that start?
Just wanting to do it for people. It's very simple. As human beings, we should do it for other people all the time.
I agree with you, but where did it start?
It started because when I was younger, probably because I was such a bastard when I was a kid. I was really bad tempered. Don't go to work on time, and I never had a really good education. And one day, my first boss, Nick, hired me for $1,200. To work as a forklift driver, delivery boy, and he made the change. I mean, he has so much patience with me. I don't eat right. I was unhealthy. I was eating hot dogs every day because they're cheap, right? Because I just wanted something to fill up the stomach. I didn't know that's on the long run is going to be bad for my health. And he brought me lunch every day. He sent me back to school to relearn how to type again. Then he started promoting me, and he wanted me to become a better person. And he gave me that chance. So when I get older now, and I'm no longer a younger Sean Lee, and I have to remember that, why he's doing that to you. I mean, he loves you unconditionally. Why? I mean, you're just another one of the employee. On top of that, I used to have fights with people in the office. It's really bad. I used to smash their computers. And he didn't fire me for that.
Well, he was invested in you.
Yeah, but I represent no value to him, really. I mean,
That seems to be your thing. I don't think that you're right about any of that, by the way.
no, even till today, after I own my own company, I used to have thousands of employees that work for me. And I look back to that kid, Sean Lee, when he was 19 or 18. First of all, I would never have a kid at that age who works for me and talk back to me the way I used to talk. Second, not to say having fights constantly with other employees in the office. Those are two big no-no in the office space, right? And on top of that, you're doing all that thing to me. I have to be bringing you a lunchbox, make sure you're okay. What's the reason for that? I don't get it. I still don't get it. I had a lunch with him, right, a few months before he passed away. And I actually had on video recording. I go like, Nick, till today I still don't understand. I mean, when we're a kid, I mean, in my 20s, I look at him, I don't understand, that's normal. When you turn 40-something, you own your business. And then you look back, go like, you're a weird boss. You're taking chances on people that you don't even know what your return on investment is going to be. And you took that chance, and I still don't understand why.
It's weird to me that you don't. Isn't it possible that maybe he's exactly where you are today? Everything you just said about yourself, I asked you why you're this way.
But,
like, oh, it goes back to the kid. I was a real bastard. I mean, is it possible that maybe it was the exact same story?
Yeah.
But why that kid, though? I mean, right? So I keep on asking, you have so many choices. It's not like I have, like, special skill that the company needs me to survive. You see my point?
Yes, but you operate on a level that has nothing to do with those metrics. So do we. And you live in this world where doing good has way more ROI than the ROI. And I feel like the fact that you don't know that maybe is part of your magic, but you really are between the lines. And I think that's what's so wonderful about you and why so many people do love the fuck out of you.
No, it's yeah. I think doing good. I mean, at a certain point, I know doing good, taking care of other people. If it's your calling, it's not about religious. No, it's really basic humanity. I mean, if it's your calling, do it because the payback, not the payback, the return in terms of you see people smile, people recognize you for not necessarily recognize you for fame, recognize you because you do something good for them and for their family, and the return on it, words cannot describe that.
Right.
And that's why it's very addictive in a way too. You know, look, me and him, we never know each other before. You know, it's so cool that he treats me like a motivation, but I never had the intention to become his motivation. But now he's able to do something on his end. You know, he's a car club is based out here in Burbank and area, a little further away from us, right? But now imagine he gets bigger in the future. The kids around this area or anybody around this area, he's able to take care of them. And that was the whole purpose. We have a group of people that are able to take care of others on different regions in different time. And slowly we can make environment a little bit better place. You know, I don't have a big goal. I'm not going to be like save the world type of thing. But what's more inspiration to me is actually he thinks I'm an inspiration. But, you know, I don't think I inspire anybody. But
Good. Keep it up.
I'm just being myself.
If you all of a sudden get a big head, that's going to be a weird world.
Actually, no.
You just stay as grateful as you are. You're doing everything right.
I'm grateful to everybody that's around me in my life because my time on Earth right now, I'm 50-something right now, right? So it's getting shorter and shorter. So every day I treasure a time like this. You know, if I wasn't true to want to do something good, I won't even need to be on the show, right? If I'm on the show, it's because I want to broadcast out to tell people out there, go and do something good for others.
Right. You
Just
don't
that-
have to.
Yeah. Otherwise, I could be very comfortable with all the cars I have. I just go eat whatever I want to eat. You know, go hide in my corner, have my own lifestyle thing, right? But I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. I want to be using my time on Earth. You know, what do we have? 10, 20 more years, and we become such a close friend now. And I want to be able to broadcast my commitment to the people out there, saying that this is Sean Lee. I know all these good people. This is what we want to do, to make a slow changes one day at a time, and we are. You know, it's crazy. Starting from 8 backpacks, 30 backpacks, now we're sending 4,000 or 5,000 backpacks every year. Not a single dollar in exchange.
What I love at this point is that the vendors, I don't know if you call them vendors, partners, the partners now reach out to you to
Yeah.
say, hey, it's that time of year again. We've got our allocation that we're sending your way, be it backpacks or Nissan with the trucks, whatever.
It's awesome. Like BFG guys, BFG and Michelin, they're extremely tight on budget because whatever reason, they lost 30% of their production this year. But
What does BFG stand for?
BF Goodrich,
Oh, of course. Sorry.
Thai
thanks.
company. They're basically the same company. BFG and you saw I posted Michelin side budget runs out, and BF Goodrich, the lady that runs BF Goodrich, just go, I'm gonna send you some backpacks. So she actually used the budget from BF Goodrich and made 400 backpack and donated over.
What?
Yeah, so it's a BF Get Rich and Purist collaboration backpacks.
Well, that's very cool.
I mean, I know they don't like me mentioning them, but they're badasses. They're for any brands out there willing to use their. This is really bad the way I'm going to say it, but to use their company money and able to not care about ROI but support costs. I mean, 400 backpack, $20 each. That's $8,000 to $10,000, right? So they have to produce and send it over. She has to find that money somewhere and justify that. And when you say, oh, we donated Purest Group $10,000 worth of merchandise, and their boss is always going to ask, well, what's your ROI when you donate this thing? Oh yeah, he gets like 40 likes out of his Instagram posts, and maybe you see my point?
Yes, but it doesn't. Again, you're between the lines.
People
That's not
like
what it
to
matters.
do good things,
Yeah, but
and
that's
you're
such a-
helping them do that.
I mean, we understand. Like, you gave me 40 backpacks. Okay, I understand. We're buddies, right? But for big brand like BFG to do that, it was like, wow. You know, like this one thing I haven't even posted is the Gran Turismo jumped in.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was rendered. It was so rendered. I know people in Gran Turismo for a while. It's one of my favorite games. And we're at the Peterson Gala one night eating dinner, and Mitch Snow, that I don't know if she was gonna say. so
Whoopsie daisy.
it's okay. So he was like, "Hey, so your tour drive's coming out. What are you gonna do?"
Oh, front door. Steve Ellis is here, everybody. All right, come on in. There we go. You were saying?
And Gran Turismo the Gran Turismo team was on the other table. Go, hey, let's donate some a Gran Turismo 7 to your toy drive. And boom, and they sent over 100 pieces of Gran Turismo 7
Sorry about that. What? You're kidding?
with $2.5 million built into it,
Into their gamer.
and also a car pack.
Holy cow!
Yeah, I'm gonna get you one.
Please do. I don't want to take one from a kid, but that is
No,
awesome. I want
it's
one.
not meant for kids. It's actually because not every kid has a PS4 or PS5, so it was just the game. So they wanted me to actually give the game out to people like you guys and start enjoying playing.
Oh, well, fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy, but again, I think that life works in mysterious ways, and I think that you wouldn't have been able to be the person you are today without whatever that bastard kid that you were talking about. Yeah, I just feel like that's everybody with a good story. Every superhero, by the way. I don't know why I'm pointing at you, but this guy knows what I'm talking about. Every superhero has one of those stories too. And I think of you that way. I think of you as an everyday superhero.
I'm not a superhero. Just a guy, man. Just a normal
Good.
guy.
That's the right attitude. Don't show your cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to see this guy around a phone booth. Those clothes are out of there. All right. Well, Heritage Group. Let's see. I don't know which one of you guys is leaving, but at some point there's only one. There's 2 chairs and 3 people. I want to talk all about the Heritage Group and remind everybody what the date is for the Concours for kids.
Sure. So December 18th, 1 to 5 p.m. We have all the information and tickets and everything on Eventbrite if you search Concours for Kids.
Perfect.
General admission tickets are just $20. Yeah, we have great food, great music and everything.
Is it a curated car show, or is it the type of thing that people can?
I'm glad you asked. So we actually pre-selected the cars that are going to be in the
Come
show.
on in.
We pre-selected the cars that are going to be in the show. So if you come with your car, we do have a parking lot inside and also plenty of street parking.
Oh, wow.
So you would park and just walk into the show. You can't cruise into the show with the car.
Gotcha. It sounds very convenient though for
It
the
is.
for the spectators.
Yeah, and plenty of parking, so there's no worry there.
There he is. Ah, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Optimus?
We got to get this guy in and do some impressions. All right, so December 18th. What day of the week is that?
Sunday in Mission Hills at the Landmark venue.
All right.
From 1 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Just go to the Landmark in Mission Hills. Everybody knows what it is. I'm trying to
Yeah, and
think.
make sure to bring unwrapped toys, brand new unwrapped toys for donations.
$10 minimum, probably, right? Doesn't matter?
Anything
don't
you
care.
can.
You're happy to
Yeah,
get whatever.
Anything
Okay.
you can.
That's wonderful. The toy, Purist Group, they've been through this. They're like $10 or more, please.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. We picked up some stuff that was, it doesn't matter. There's some old standards that are sometimes on sale on Amazon that they're not they're less than $10. We'll see. We'll see what gets delivered on Friday.
That's awesome. We started our first delivery this Friday to CHP.
Nice.
Really? Right after GVBC, you're going to go do
Well,
deliveries?
GVBC, day at 4 p.m. You guys can come. It's at West Covina. They have this big tree set up. Well, yeah,
Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah, and CHP is getting toys over there. We support them every year.
That's wonderful. She's knocked out by the time we're done. We have a whole thing that we have to do after GVBC, plus Wendy's. I'm just kidding. We skipped it because of Thanksgiving. You're going to love it.
I missed it.
We're so simple. All right, well, let's do a quick break. And then one of these guys will still be here. And then Steve Ellis from Get Behind the Wheel will be here as well. All right? Is that good? So why don't you tell people about Oh So Delicious hot sauce?
It's a hot sauce made by bears.
She's right.
Oh, so delicious. It's a hot sauce made by bears. Garlic and serrano mixed with love and care. You can put it on your eggs, pour it on your rice. It's great on a leg, it's better on a slice. It's oh, so delicious. It's a hot sauce made by bears. Oh, so delicious hot sauce. Great on everything except oatmeal.
Get your bottle today at ohsodelicious.org. $1 from every bottle sold goes to the National Military Family Association.
What are you driving today? 63 356B. Hey, 111. What are you driving today? Here we go. Oh, this is fun, David. Thumbs up. Sure.
This just proves that you don't have to go fast to have fun.
You don't have to go. Can you see my smile already?
Okay, I'm impressed.
You don't need to stick it. He's already got it. My car's gonna feel slow as balls after this. I'll tell you that. Pedal down. Yeah, baby.
We are actually here. We're actually doing it. Put up some of these comments that we missed before. Irene Hoffman is present. Always like to stretch the birthday wishes. So here I go again, Nicole. I know you'll be turning 22 in a few. She's exactly right. Jay Franz says, good seeing you guys tonight. Thank you. Jay Franz says, I do love Nissan.
Yeah.
Says, it's called Plato's Cave, says Jen Zidek. Plato's Cave, something we were talking about earlier. Sorry I didn't get to these. The medium is the message. Yeah, indeed. All right. Well, with that, I am very excited that our friend Steve Ellis is here. Although you really get behind the wheel tonight, aren't you?
I'm really get behind the wheel. Yeah.
Do I follow both of your Instagram accounts? How am I supposed to do this?
So here's where I feel bad. My initial, I to be honest, detest social media. And everybody was like, you got to have a social media for like this and a social media for that. And I'm like, but wouldn't it just make sense if it was all just one account?
Yes.
But apparently my non-car friends don't like seeing so much car things and vice versa. So I was like, all right, fine. And then when I kind of dove into automotive photography and media, it just made sense to have one whole account.
I don't understand how the Smoking Tire has been able to do it. He's got his personal photos on there, tons of car reviews, cats galore, and yet he's just like, it's all in one place. We have a bunch for the same exact reason you do.
Yeah.
Some people who like the show don't give a fuck about cars.
Yeah, they're like, I don't care. But then I'm like, I'm mad because my friends are like, oh, here's what I ate for lunch today. And it's like, cool. I'm going to like it because I like you. Yeah, but it's not reciprocated, you know.
Yeah, it's just one of those things for sure.
It is.
We are so glad that you're finally here. We've been trying to get you in here for ages.
This is the most. I just started a whole new thing, like otherwise, and I'm more excited about this than that right now.
That's not true. That's not true.
It is. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of the show. I think it's cool. I think it's super awesome that you guys. I mean, come on. This is if you guys if you're listening and you can't see this place, this is an amazing build out. This is super cool. Like I'm not even kidding. This is cool.
We appreciate it. We're nuts. Thanks for acknowledging it. But you're pretty damn cool, too. And I met you through the car scene but your voice was very familiar to me. And then I found out, oh, well, you're an actor, so I probably know your face too, and all this other stuff. The car world is actually on the newer side for you compared to acting and stuff. And then you've got this new. No, maybe I'm wrong about that. And then you've got this whole new career. So you start wherever you want, and know that you're going to have to come back another time to do a whole show yourself because you're just kind of tagging on here at the end. And
I'll hit the cliff notes.
All
Born and raised Texan, and moved to LA for acting in film and voiceover work, and been here 12 years. Cars have been well rooted in my family for a long, long time. My dad has had between my dad, my stepdad, my mom, and myself, we've had every Z except for the 262 plus 2 and the 370. And so we've long been a Z Dotson family. My stepdad and my mom actually
So
moved
hang
to
on,
Texas.
The obscure one from the
ugly
70s, and then the newest.
Ugliest one, because I had a 300. My mom had 300, and then I got the 350, and then didn't get the 370 because I wasn't too keen on the looks. I do like the new one though, so I'm really hoping to get one of those. Pick one of those up and check it out. But cars have always been rooted in the family. I was saying my stepdad and my mom met at the Texas A&M Sports Car Club. So she was best female driver, I believe, of that year. And I actually and my brother had to do a full season of autocross before we could get our license.
First of all, best parents in the world, because then you understand car control before you're out there on the real world.
Oh, absolutely. I honestly feel like that should be a requirement. I honestly believe in tiered licenses too. I feel like, if I won the lotto tomorrow and I go buy a Bugatti, I have no business with 1,500 horsepower at my disposal going from a Corolla, And I feel like, a lot of people should learn performance driving, both defensively and just in general, because I can't think of how many countless times it saved me. Just in the rain.
How old were you? It was before you got your regular license.
15. Yeah, because they had to get a parental sign off for the waiver.
They had Skip Barber used to have a car control clinic at Lime Rock, and I took that when I was a kid. I already had my license, but I took that as a kid too. And it's when you learn to e-brake, you learn to J-turn, you do all these all the stuff from the TV shows.
It's fun, but it genuinely saves you. I mean, if you guys are driving around LA, how many times have you had to dodge potholes, dodge Priuses, dodge other unattentive drivers, dodge pedestrians, trash
on the crest for real?
And absolutely.
Rocks, deer,
absolutely.
bobcat.
Yeah. Man, Edge's Crest. It's my favorite place to be, and also most respected and feared at the same time.
Keep it that way forever.
Oh, absolutely. As soon as I tell people, if your tires are talking to you, you're going too fast on Edge's Crest. If they're screeching, you're going way too fast.
You don't want to be playing with your
You got deer, hikers, other traffic. Ugh.
Playing with friction and playing with traction is a thing on the racetrack, and I understand why people are doing it. It's a thing in sim racing. You know what I mean, it's a thing. I get it. You simply haven't seen the variables that are possible up there if you're trying it up there.
Absolutely.
Or the results, which can be as final as results get.
Absolutely.
Your voice is just one of my favorite things about you. I can listen to you talk for years and years.
In a world where
and our friend directed that movie too, Lake Bell.
I love him. I can't. Oh my god!
I'm so glad to hear that.
When I was a kid, I was the only kid for a long time. My brother and I are 10 years apart, and I have step siblings, but they were here, there, and so I had to narrate and animate my own action figure battles, and I was so enamored by cartoon characters and voiceover artists and stuff like that. And once I hit puberty, the high-pitched voice went away and then became the low-resonating voice, and so it was super fun to play with.
You already had it built in your head, right, from when you were a kid, right? So now all of a sudden the talent comes in to actually do Optimus. What is it, Peter? What's his name from Optimus?
Peter Cullen.
Peter Cullen.
Oh man, the coolest thing, one of the coolest moments of my life, when I first moved to LA, they had a Comic-Con, and I forgot what exact Transformer movie is coming out. I think it was the third one, and they had this huge Transformer display going on, and I was like, man, we're gonna go, and we just happened to go, and he was there doing a whole speak and greet. And my friend's like, you should do your Optimus voice. You should do your Optimus voice. And I was like, I was like, I'm not doing Optimus voice in front of Optimus.
To Optimus.
To Optimus, you stupid. And he's like, come on, man, you should do it. So he raised his hand and he was like, I have a question. They're like, hand the mic out. He goes, yeah, I really question my friend is a good Optimus Prime voice. Here he goes. And I'm like, ah! And Peter Cullen's like, well, let's hear it. And I was like, and like the whole room is looking at me.
Does Peter Cullen sound like Optimus Prime when he's just talking, or does he have to put it on?
He definitely puts it on.
Okay.
He has a completely different voice from a speaking voice, and I mean, I assume every character's like that. But
so he gives you the let's hear it as Optimus.
yeah. He was like, well, let's hear it. And I was like, ah. And the room's looking at me, and I just remember grabbing the mic, and I was like, and though we are worlds apart, like us, there's more to them than meets the eye. I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message to any Autobots taking refuge amongst the stars. We are here. We are waiting.
Oh, yeah.
And like the room like erupts and I ran out of the room. My legs were like in autopilot, and I just remember running out.
You didn't even get his response from it?
Wow. Like everybody was clapping, and I just was like, ah! Like,
that's amazing. You're like David Spade on the Tonight Show. That's incredible.
I bolted. I was like,
I bet you would have been they must have loved it.
I mean, like everybody clapped. It was proud. I was like, yes, thank you. And my legs were like, yo. And I remember we get into the bathroom, and I was just like shaking. My hands were shaking, and my friends like text me, "Where'd you go?" Like,
they want you to come on stage.
I freaked out and ran. But what's funny is it's not even like the good guys that I like doing. It's like the villains,
the Decepticons.
Well, I mean, just in general, because I mean, like, like me, it's like I am like to the core, like as good best of a person as I could be. This and this and this, but villains were so enamoring to me because even as like an adult now, I feel like a lot of us will say we relate more to the villains. Like Thanos, you sit in LA traffic, I totally get it. There's too many people. But I mean, doing character voices was just like fun. And the villains are always the funnest ones to play with, you know. And, they're really high pitched.
Oh my God!
It's crazy.
We joked before you got here. I said your CeeLo Green is quite exceptional as well.
I mean, you know, I try to figure out the character that I am, and that makes me crazy, you know. It's funny. I'm sitting there, Sean Lee. Sean Lee is a phenomenal person. Purist Group's amazing.
Yeah, it's the best. I love it. Oh God. What is it about impressions? Why are we all just children? We're like, come on, do somebody else.
You know, man, I can't even tell you.
Good ones are like having the real person right here.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. The Frank Caliendos are the ones who can really nail it.
Because, you know, like, I think what it is, you know, if you grew up listening to, like, the radio shows and stuff like that, you really had to use imagination. And, you know, when other people can take you out of themselves and create whatever this character is and read this as his character, and you have that ability to build the world in your mind, it just makes it much more easier. You know, I think that's why so many people nowadays are turning to animation because it's limitless, but they forget that the mind is in fact what is limitless. And so I think that's real cool when people can interpret things and envision things in certain ways.
Oh, I love that. Love that.
That's cool.
I feel like I want to watch that documentary.
Thanks.
Deep.
Are you going to do Starscream?
I'm sorry, Lord Megatron. I'll retrieve the cube immediately. And in fact, I'll kill the little human. It'll bring me so much joy.
See, it gets me too, because you really that sounds like the cartoons. These sound like the cartoons that I grew up with, not the movies that the kids know today.
Did you ever watch Batman?
Yeah.
Batman was so much fun.
Well, and R.I.P. to Batman just died.
Oh, man.
The voice of Batman.
I feel like I'm hitting that age where it's like, man, my heroes, all these guys, these people I've listened to and followed for years.
It's happening left and right for us. Yeah, how old are you?
37.
Oh, well, we're a fair bit older than you.
Just wait.
It doesn't get any better.
No,
it doesn't slow down.
But I mean, I think it's a blessing. I mean, you know, a huge person in my childhood growing up was Jason David Frank, who was Green Ranger. And
just passed away the other day.
Yeah, and that was...
Wait, so you watched that show?
Oh man, I was the biggest Power Ranger. I remember getting in fights in school because kids would think Power Rangers was like nerdy.
I didn't understand it because it was Voltron when I grew up. It was the animated show Voltron. There's all those people and those little things, but it was animated.
I'm a hardcore nerd. This is a whole different subject, so we'll scale on the top of this. but there's a
He's
lot.
like, it's not the same.
There's a no. There are very similar. There are a lot of similarities. Actually, I forget what the actual term is called, but in the Japanese animation live action world, it was like a genre, and they had like Masked Rider, they had Beetleborgs, they had Power Rangers, VR Troopers, Voltron. Essentially, anything that was like a team of 3 or more people with some suits that gave them powers, and then they jumped
can
into
form into some other.
Yeah, something like that. It was like a genre. I forget what it's called.
I have to defer to our Canadian friend and producer up there, who might actually know the answer to this. Producer Mike, you have any idea what the genre might be we're talking about up here? With Voltron and the Power Rangers?
Hold, please. I'm looking it up right now. I'll let you know.
Hilarious.
I know it too. It's
I was like, there's a guy in the TV.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah,
but I figure.
Also, can you do Dr. Claw?
Dr. Claw. Next time, Gadget. Next time.
Wow! How did you know which doctor? That's amazing. From Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, Dr. Claw.
With Penny.
Dr. Claw came from I got the flu one time or got sick or something. And
So you had
I
all the
remember
phlegmy-
and I remember next time my mom walked in the room and she was like giving me something, and I remember she was like, well, I'll do something. And I was like, next time. And then she looks at me and I was like, next time, Gadget. And my mom used to give me so much crap because she'd be like, you're crazy, you're insane, go outside, read a book, do all these things. And then when she realized, like, she's like, wait a minute, now that I'm pursuing acting, that this is like a hireable asset. She's like, yeah, make all the cartoon noises you want. She's like, yeah, my son does voices. Yeah, do the weird thing. Yeah.
Oh, God.
What's your favorite voice? All the voice you did.
That's a good question.
We know Optimus, but
Well, man. So the thing is, it's like impersonating somebody. It's just fun, to say little things to sound like them. But then, like, I've made a bunch of personal characters, like for like auditions. They're like, okay, here's what this character looks like, or whatever. Create a voice and a sound. So some of them I've done have been like very particular to me. This is my nerdy, intelligent mechanic.
See, now the cool thing about this is because it doesn't have a face, I get to put one on there.
Yeah, that's it.
And I like that guy.
Yeah, you get to play around. Well, I hate to tell you, Jay, but the clutch in your 911 is going to need a replacement.
that's pretty awesome.
It's like, play with that. And,
Super
but,
Sentai.
I mean, like, I would say...
Canada, what is it?
It's Sentai or Super Sentai.
Super Sentai, yes.
There we go.
So, yeah, it was like a big genre of big robot, Japanese culture. That was huge. Like Gundam, I'm a huge anime fan, so Gundam and mecha is like my favorite thing.
I didn't know that.
Oh, dude.
I'm really close to Bandai.
Bring that mic over to you.
What?
Yeah, you know.
I didn't know.
Sean
I
knows
love
everybody.
Bandai. I know. Like,
Did you see me go to Bandai headquarters?
Well, yeah, I did see that. Remember, I was like in your DMs, like, I need that life-size model. Like, can you bring that home? I was like, I think I remember that because I was literally texting Charlie like, hey,
You need some exclusives.
where you at?
So Bandai Toy owns the IP for Power Ranger, Dragon Ball, Gundam, a bunch of other crazy stuff.
If you're, I hate to, we're talking about Comic-Con and we're talking about the Power Rangers. Greg Grunberg was just here the other night, and he was on Felicity, a show I used to work on with the Pink Power Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson.
Yeah.
And she's going to be in his band at the LA Comic-Con this year.
Oh, that's awesome. That
the
was
whole thing.
arguably
the action figure band.
Arguably one of my first crushes, Pink Ranger.
No
Really?
kidding.
Yeah.
She was very nice on Felicity.
Pink Ranger, what was it? The Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Oh, hilarious.
That's romantic.
Well, she was adorable, yeah.
Oh, man. Gosh, that's cool. It's crazy, to think how many years Power Rangers has gone on to get to, the generation my brother watched was not the one that I watched versus not the one that some other people have watched.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So it's like Doctor Who, they just keep reinventing it? Or something?
Yeah, I mean, what I followed was Jason David Frank, Green Ranger. He has been so many Rangers. He was actually the longest running Ranger from the original series, all the way up until I believe even the current
Wow.
Power Rangers. And,
Not the current ones.
No,
I'm sorry.
Up and
Hashtag too soon, Jay's a dick.
Hashtag
Jay's a dick.
hashtag
Sorry.
my childhood hashtag.
Sorry. I feel terrible. It's
No,
terrible.
no, but I mean, yeah, I mean, so that was kind of a huge thing to see that, but. Yeah,
You were working in cars, but you just made a shift. And was today literally your first day? Yesterday.
Today is the second day.
Okay. Can we talk about it?
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
I haven't been told to, and hopefully a lot of obviously you guys listening will probably end up being customers. I don't know. But I was working with Top Rank Importers, which specialized in importing vehicles from Japan and bringing them into the U.S. for sale, specifically specializing in the Nissan Skyline GTRs. And from that company, I was given an opportunity to work with Hagerty in their new garage and social in Los Angeles. So I will be at the Culver City facility handling automotive concierge storage.
Awesome.
So it's really cool move. Really great company so far. It's a lot, taking a lot in, getting brought up to speed.
Oh, I can't imagine. Because they've got these sort of already in existence. So it's not like you're figuring this out for them. You're sort of joining the team already.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely joining the team. But LA, as you guys who are based here know, that it's a different monster than anywhere else. So it's going to come with its unique challenges, which I'm super excited about, to be on the grounding of this starting and stuff like that. And, already met some really cool people today and have some cool cars in the facility. So it's really, really phenomenal, honestly.
I think it's going to be really good for you. I think you're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be really cool.
Rod Emery was here recently and talking about the Van Nuys location of Garage and Social.
Yep, Patrick Long, and he are working on curating a very nice, detailed history of that SoCal car culture and that facility. It's going to be really, really cool. Excited to see that.
Will we see you Saturday?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I will be
There's
there.
a little soiree over there.
Yeah, I
We'll
will
see
be.
you
It
there.
was funny because, right before I left the shop to come here, we were on a meeting and they were like, you don't have to come, but you can come. And I was like, hey, look, you guys, I'm part of the team. I'm going to need your help one day. You need my help now. That's the kind of mentality to get into it. And plus, I love this Los Angeles car scene. It is, at first, it's kind of like, you feel a little outside, but as you genuinely meet people and you talk to people, it's so quick to get folded into the scene. And
Why did you feel outside at first? I haven't necessarily experienced that.
No, just so when I moved from Texas, and you come to LA, it's like you know where the cars and coffees or the meets are, and stuff like that. And though we know that these people are accessible and friendly to walk up and talk to, not necessarily, maybe some people don't feel that way, so they kind of always look for a while and look for a while. And
I know what you're talking about, but is that the LA car scene, or is it just the fact that they've seen it on television and Instagram? Like it's like seeing a celebrity, even though it's not a celebrity.
Exactly. I feel like that's also something that plays into it.
One-sided.
Yeah, because if if for example, like someone who you would see regularly is like Magnus Walker, and Magnus Walker's nicest dude. You go up to him, super friendly.
Hey, how you doing, homie?
Like the potato, my Porsches, stuff. But it's like if you don't know him, and you in your mind, it's like, oh, I've seen him on TV, I've seen him on internet, on Instagram. He's a huge Porsche celebrity car guy, and you're like, oh, I want to say hi. Don't it's the same thing with like Jay Leno. You see Jay Leno out. And I can't tell you how many times.
You don't mean the LA car. You mean the echelon of the.
Well, it's funny because like they are the upper echelon of the car community, but I feel like they are because they've been around for so long, but they're also well liked and genuinely will communicate and interact with people.
The two guys you just mentioned too will talk to absolutely everybody the same, whether you showed up in the McLaren P1 or the Dodge Neon.
Exactly.
Both of those guys.
And that's like, I feel like for the guy showing up in the Dodge Neon, he might not feel, in a sense, like worthy to go up and say like, hi, what's, like, I really like your car, like, or, hey, have a conversation.
It doesn't need to be about that. You can just say, hey, Jay Leno, I like what you do. Or, hey, Magnus, I'm into what you do. And they both really appreciate that.
Yeah. And I mean, like, as people in the scene kind of get that mentality out of their head and engage with people, it becomes a completely different scene. It becomes a completely welcoming, friendly scene. Sean Lee, yourself, a lot of people here in this community are very much open and welcoming. And I feel like that's the best part about this LA scene.
Yeah. I totally agree.
I
totally agree. It's funny. don't know how much of this I want to say, but it's proving your point. Certain car clubs kind of want your number and they want your metric, and it's more of a marketing thing and whatever, and that's fine because they're doing their own thing. But overall, I think that the Los Angeles SoCal car culture is exactly what you're talking about. It's inclusion. It's you're different. I'm into it. Let's show me why you're different. You know, I've never seen that before. Tell me why you did it. I don't get it, but maybe I will at the end of this conversation. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I tell people all the time. You know, the funny thing is, behind the wheel, my Instagram handle was never really about the cars. It was about the people behind the wheel.
Oh, hilarious.
Because. Well, I mean, cars change. You know, we buy new cars, we crash cars, we collect cars, we change cars. The car isn't the staple; it's the person. And you know, like you meet someone, you're like, I don't know who you are, but cool car, man. And it's like, hey, what do you drive? Oh, you know, cool car. And next thing you know, you're texting this dude, hey, you want to get some coffee? You know, there's just a quick camaraderie that we get from these steel, aluminum, metal, carbon fiber, rubber things, and it doesn't really, like politics out the window, religion out the window, whatever things that usually keep people divided. We've come with cars, and then from that we learn and experience through other people, their cultures, their experiences, and we learn more about people in a way that you can interact, have disagreements, and have different ideas, but that toxic mentality you see on social media disappears because it's like, I understand this person as a person, you know?
Yeah, you made something real first. The foundation is authentic. It doesn't. It's funny because you're right. Adam Ferrara says that once you pop the hood, everybody's the same. You know, it doesn't matter what color, what shape, what size. I mean, oh, what do you got in there? You know, we're all kind of just humans who are into the same shit.
I wish more people could meet from a enjoyed perspective and then adventure out into other aspects of.
When I was a kid, you didn't talk about politics, religion, or money publicly because they were all divisive subjects, right? So no matter where you are on all those things, nobody is going to be exactly the same with you, no matter what. So it was kind of like you just we talked about everything else. Nowadays, it's almost like, well, that's what we start with. So I figure out whether I like you or not, and then we can see if we should be friends. And it's like, well, wait a second, maybe we would have been great friends, and then just disagreed on that one stupid thing, which who cares about?
And that's the thing is, from having a base of common interest, and then exploring outside of that, people, I think, if it's the other way around, they're just looking at you from the outside. They don't see the humanity. They don't see the suffrages. They don't see all the other things. They're just judging on this one thing. But when you get to know someone and then you kind of explore out and learn about the other aspects of their life, you may not agree, but you have an understanding because that person is like, you recognize them as a human being or something like, this is a good guy. We have a different view here, but I can understand and respect his point of view or her point of view, and and still maintain a friendship.
Or I can go, I don't know why the fuck he thinks that way, but he's great in all these other ways. You
got guys that'll say a Honda Civic's better than a Porsche 911.
Right.
I may not agree with you, but we both like cars. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, cool. Got some say the Skyline's better than a Ferrari. All right, sure, man. It's like, let's figure it out in between, But it's like you start with something that you have the camaraderie with, and you move forward.
These guys are leaving.
I'll see you later.
Thank you, buddy.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks, G. It's the Concours for Kids on December 18th over in Mission Hills at the Landmark.
I love this. Is my favorite time of the year because we get awesome events that give back. Purist Group with their winter drive. I haven't missed one since I met you, actually.
Wow.
We've done every winter drive, and that's huge.
You going to
winter
this one?
drive? Absolutely.
Of course.
Be there, bells and whistles on, bringing bags of toys. Giving back to the community, especially coming off of 2 years of pandemic. These kids need really good Christmases. So it's super cool.
You're good at this. Do you have a podcast? Do you have a show? Like, you've got the voice,
you've
got the energy, you've got the talent.
Everybody has said, man, you should do one. And I'm like, no one wants to listen to me talk.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I want you here every week.
Hey, we'll see what's in the pipeline. We'll see what's coming. I mean, like I said, I enjoy people. People make the world go around. People make your lives better.
Rusty Shackelford says, damn, I need to move to L.A. He looks successful. And then people here are saying new dating online from Sex Find. Okay, that's some spam. All right, we'll get rid of that.
Are they saying
Although if anybody wants a new dating game, there is one.
BBI.Beatum says to say hi to Sean Lee. He's an OG.
Oh, Patim.
There you go.
Oh, Batimber.
Patim for BBI.
Batim, of course, yeah. Oh, awesome. He's the best. I know.
I drove a BBI car. It was insanity.
What was it, a 911?
It was. So one of my acting friends calls me one day and he's like, hey, I got a friend coming in town from Hawaii and he's picking up his car. I don't know what it is. But he wants to go for a drive, and I know you go on these drives, and, maybe we can link up. And I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Car shit. Like, I'm down.
Check.
And so, I was like, well, a common drive, I don't know how experienced he is. He goes, no, he does track events, and, his car is, like, really fast, apparently, and, but he goes racing, and yada, yada. And I'm like, all right, maybe we can go up Angeles Crest. At the time, Newcomb's was open.
Right.
And, there's this little cafe, and he's like, yeah, sounds perfect, cool. Where can we meet you? And I was like, we'll meet at the gas station. So I pull up, and there's just this beautiful.
Are you in your Skyline?
No, at the time I was in my silver Track Z.
Okay.
And so I pulled up to the gas station. This beautiful, beautiful white 911, and it's got the lime green accents on it. 918 Spider Edition. I'm like,
oh,
and I was
gee
like,
whiz.
918 Spider Edition. I was like, wait, 918 is the soup? What is this? And he's like, oh, it was like there's so many. I'm learning as best as I can on my Porsche stuff. There are so many 911 variation chassis.
Well, I think the 918 isn't a 911. It's a 918, right?
It's a 918 Spider Edition 911 Turbo S. I think is what it was. A BBI has it known as, I think, like the Hammer or something. They have a nickname for it. So we go up Angeles Crest, and I'm at a moderate pace because I don't know how well he drives, and so we're just kind of putting up the mountain. And we get to Newcomb's Ranch, and we're eating breakfast, and he starts, I was analyzing your driving. You've been on a course before, haven't you? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I could see where you were taking lines, and da 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 da. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then he's like, you should drive my 911. And I was like, what? I was like, no, I'm good. I was like, I'm very particular about driving other people's vehicles in certain environments, and Angeles Crest's not one of them.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I think you can handle the car. He goes, plus the car's well suited up. It's good to go. And I'm like, he's like, carbon ceramic brakes, you should be fine. I'm like,
did you know it was set up by BBI already?
He said this is literally how he described it. It's got some tweaks from BBI.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, cool. So, I've driven some fast things in my life. I mean, I've used to work at RSI in Houston. They did twin turbo Vipers. That was the first time I'd been over 200 miles an hour, was in one of those. And so I'm well adapted to some performance cars. And so I get in this car, and I'm kind of like letting it get warmed up, put some heat in the tires. And there's a good straightaway section. I just kind of like, well, let's see, let's bury this thing real quick. And I mashed it, and I'm telling you, it was like being in the Millennium Falcon and just hitting warp drive. And it kicked, like the response was so amazing. It kind of caught me off guard. And I remember like, oh, and I was like slapping the paddle like, oh my God, oh my God. And then it's just like I buried the brakes and it came out of hyperspace. And I was like, yeah, I got to take this back. I was like, I got to take this back. I got back and he was like, so what'd you think? I was like, this is nuts. I was like, I need a 911 in my life. And I need BBI to tweak some things.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
I think he said it was like 900 horsepower on low boost or something.
Lord.
Or something like that.
Ridiculous.
It's insane. You can Google the car, I forget what it's called, but
I'm that way with all modern cars, though. I mean,
everything's amazing. I drove an AMG GT race with downpipes at a tune, 700 horsepower, and it AC power steering, no problem. Like monster.
No problem.
Like these new cars are impressive.
Yeah, power is not the issue anymore. When we were kids, it was how do we get more power? How do we get more power? Now power is not
it's too much
issue.
power. Yeah,
congrats on the new gig. I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
We'll see you Saturday, if not Friday.
Absolutely.
You got a gig now, so you can't come to Breakfast Club on Friday.
Well, I'll have to.
Although it is work.
It is work. That's marketing and work. So I'll have to figure that out. Get that negotiated.
I love it. Would you please come back sometime where you're here for an hour and we can just shoot
absolutely
the shit? Because this was fun, but I feel like we just dipped a toe in.
No, absolutely. I just, it was like I beelined it right over here from closing out. But
thank you for doing so. Accident on the 101 and everything. You still made it.
Oh, dude, I was Move, I got places to be. I got a podcast to be on.
And they're like, podcasts happen whenever. And like, this one's live.
This one's live.
I don't. Nobody knows.
We got to go now.
Canada, what am I missing? Anything else for these guys?
No, man, it's just been a great show tonight. Lots of fun.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you, buddy. Let me do a couple business things then before we leave. We'll all do that together. Adam Ferrara is back in town, but we may do his podcast tomorrow, which is a separate thing. We'll get to his dates after that. Byron Bauer is going to be here soon. My Magnus Walker's Urban Outlaw 10 exhibit is happening at the Peterson now through January. Go check it out. Even if you've already seen it, it is different daily. He's changing things and adding things all the time.
Patina?
What's that?
Was adding patina?
Yeah, that's right. Some of my signature touches. Shout out to Rupert G at the Hello Deli. He is your only source for officially licensed Late Show with David Letterman merchandise. We love our friend Rupert. Say hi to Rupert on behalf of Nicole, because oftentimes with the multiple sclerosis.
I cannot.
Yeah, that's true. Also, St. Clair Insurance. They say all which separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. What types of toys are we talking about today, Mrs. Ryan?
Cars, probably.
Yeah, especially today. Get those collector cars covered. Licensed in most states, St. Clair Insurance shops top providers, so you get the best coverage for your toys. Check them out by going to the www and dialing up coverageforyourtoys.com. Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Coverageforyourtoys.com.
And lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you about Series 1 Films. This episode has been brought to you in part by Series 1 Films. Series 1 Films is your complete resource to develop your brand identity and marketing using video, ads, and SEO to help your automotive business reach more customers. Send Series 1 Films a message today to find out more. Series1films.com, Series1films.com.
Series1films.com.
And like Mike up in Canada is denoting while he types, it's a number one. That's exactly right. We are such nerds. Who wants to play talk show? Come on over.
I'm down. I love this. This is so cool. I'm serious.
Oh, Sean Lee, I love you, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to see you a bunch this week, I guess.
Yeah, I'll see you on Friday.
I'm excited for that.
Will I see you Saturday?
With the police
What's
fan.
on Saturday?
Are you?
We'll tell him off the air.
Yeah, we'll tell you about Saturday.
How do we follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at GetBTW and on YouTube at Get Behind the Wheel channel. And I guess you can come to my new job.
That's exactly right.
Come to my
Go
new
store
job.
a car over
come
at the
store
Garage
my
and
car.
Social.
Yeah.
Sean Lee, you are Sean Lee 76? And Purist Group. Yeah. Instagram and everywhere else? Twitter? Anything else? Just do
mainly
Instagram.
just Instagram and Facebook. Yeah. That's it.
Oh, Facebook too. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
Purist Group
Purist
on
Group,
there. All right, I think that's what we have to do, right? New Life of Old Nicole. You know what? There was one thing. I was supposed to do this earlier, but it was an early birthday present arrived for you from Alex and David over at the Dual Shift. Wanted to see if you wanted to try some new shoes. I wanted to put them on now, but they were from Alex.
They're pull-on shoes. She told me
Yes,
about that.
that's exactly right.
Awesome.
I saw the infomercial on these. You're supposed to be able to paper and microphone. Sorry, you're supposed to be able to step right into them somehow. The back is like flexible
I've seen
somehow.
Yeah, she was like fake showing me. She's like, you can pull them up.
I was playing with it and I didn't see that, but I didn't try to stuff my foot in there. So hopefully these will work. Hopefully they'll be good.
Yeah, I've seen
That's
these
awesome.
shoes.
Thanks, guys.
At the very least, the bottom is very plasticky versus rubbery, so that should be a little better for you for
Well,
dragging
smoother.
around. Yeah.
It won't stick as much.
She has to crawl around the house. I know it's a kind of a bummer thing, but this is how we get through it.
Hey, I
It is
know.
what it is. All right. Love everybody. Thanks for being there for the shoe exchange. We're back on Thursday. I don't remember who with. Friday, GVBC Purist Group pop-up toy drive. And we'll talk about the rest on Thursday. I love you, mister. I love you, mister.
I love you, sir.
You, missus. We love you over there, too, by the way. Thanks for being here for that. And also G from the Heritage Group as well. Follow the Heritage Group, GRUPPE, as in like the R Group. And does he have a personal one or just Heritage Group?
I think Heritage Group, yeah.
We love everybody at home. Please love one another. Lots of love tonight. Thanks on Instagram. Love you up in Canada, producer Mike. Check out the
Love
Letterman
you guys.
podcast. Who's the guest this week on Friday?
Lee Ellenberg,
Writer. Former
writer
right?
from he was writer from 2000 to 2015, and
Beautiful,
he started there
fantastic.
as an intern in '96.
I love it. Awesome. So check that out. We'll see everybody out there. Love you. Bye.